There is a silence beneath all noise, not the absence of sound, but the presence of stillness, a stillness that has always been with you, before the striving, before the roles, before the performance. Sit with that, not to fix yourself, not to achieve anything, but simply to be. You have not failed. You have not fallen behind. You have only been listening to the wrong drumbeat, the frantic tempo of a world chasing after illusions. Perfection whispers like a mirage, always one step ahead, always promising peace. After one more sacrifice, one more achievement, one more performance. But peace, true peace, does not arrive when things are finally flawless. It arrives when you no longer need them to be. What if you stopped trying to be impressive and started being intentional? In the Zen tradition, they say before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The task is the same, but the heart behind it changes everything. Right intention is not a task on your to-do list. It's the root beneath every action, invisible but powerful. It's not about what the world sees. It's about what you carry silently as you move through each moment. To act without right intention is to move like a leaf in the wind, reacting, drifting, chasing. To act with right intention is to become the wind itself. So many carry the weight of should. I should be more productive. I should look more successful. I should be farther by now. But should is the voice of a mind at war with itself. Right intention is the quiet revolution that begins with a breath. Pause, breathe. Let the breath remind you of what matters. Not your output, not your perfection, not your image, but your presence. When you begin with right intention, you no longer seek validation in applause. You seek alignment. And when you are aligned, even the smallest act becomes sacred. Pouring tea, folding laundry, listening, without the need to respond. These are not interruptions to your life. They are your life. And when done with awareness, they become offerings. We've been trained to ask, is it efficient? Is it fast? Is it impressive? But rarely is it kind. Is it necessary? Is it honest? Efficiency is a hollow god when it costs you your soul. Right intention is the quiet voice that says there is a gentler way. In the forest, a tree does not strain to grow. It simply reaches for light. It does not compare itself to the tree beside it. It lives, it breathes, it becomes. So why should you be any different? You are not here to win life. You are here to live it wholly, deeply, truthfully, and sometimes living fully means slowing down. It means doing one thing and doing it with your whole heart. It means choosing the path that aligns with your values, even if it earns you no praise. Right intention is not about never making mistakes. It is about showing up with your integrity intact. It is about not abandoning yourself for the sake of acceptance. There is a kind of success that costs too much. If you must betray your peace to reach it, it was never meant for you. What if you could move without rushing, act without proving, speak without performing? What if you could simply be? In a Zen monastery, there is a practice of bowing before each task, not for the task itself, but for the intention with which it is done. You bow before sweeping the floor. You bow before making tea. You bow to remember this, too, is sacred. When you infuse each moment with intention, your life becomes a living meditation, not because it is free of flaws, but because it is full of presence. This is what the world truly needs. Not your perfection, but your presence. Not a polished mask, but an honest gaze. Not someone who always has the answers, but someone who dares to listen. Right intention does not shout. It does not demand. It does not chase. It settles like mist on a quiet morning. It enters like sunlight through a window, soft, unassuming, but quietly transformative. You may feel pulled by deadlines, by expectations, by fear, but beneath that pull is a still center, a place within you untouched by hurry. That is where right intention lives. When you live from this center, peace is no longer a reward for perfection. It is a companion walking with you through each imperfection. The river does not regret its curves. The moon does not apologize for its phases. Why should you? Peace is not something to reach. It is something to return to. It begins the moment you stop running from yourself and come back home. And you do that by choosing not once, but again and again and again. In the moment you wake, in the breath before you speak, in the pause before you act. Right intention is not a destination. It is a direction, a way of walking. Walk it slowly, walk it gently, walk it with your eyes open and your heart unguarded. There is no need to strive. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are breathing. You are becoming. And that is enough. There is a quiet courage in doing less, but with more meaning. In a world that celebrates excess, choosing simplicity is radical. And in a culture obsessed with being right, choosing to be kind is revolutionary. But right intention is neither rebellion nor obedience. It is alignment. To live in alignment is to act with both purpose and peace. It is not about perfect control, but perfect presence. Ask yourself, not what will impress others, but what will nourish you. Not what will get attention, but what will cultivate depth. Because peace is not loud. It does not clamor for approval. It arrives silently, like a full moon rising behind clouds. You don't have to chase it. You only have to clear the path. And sometimes the clutter is not outside, but within. The belief that you're not enough. The fear that if you stop pushing, everything will fall apart. The thought that worth must be earned. But worth is not a trophy. It is the breath you take in the morning light. It is the space you hold for someone without fixing them. It is the decision to treat yourself with tenderness, even when the world is harsh. Right intention is the hand that releases the need to control and opens to what is. Letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom. The tree lets go of its leaves, not out of despair, but trust. It knows spring will come, and in the same way, you must release what no longer serves the season you're in. This is not a path of constant gain, but conscious loss, letting go of the need to be perfect, letting go of the urgency to prove, letting go of the identity you created for applause, and returning to the self that exists in silence. There is a teaching that says, when the archer shoots for fun, he has all his skill, but when he shoots for a prize, he becomes nervous and sees only the prize. Do not let the goal steal the grace from the action. Let your life be like the arrow, not rushed, but intentional, not forced, but focused. Do not wait until the world applauds to live with meaning. The right intention turns even a whisper into a sacred sound. In the kitchen, a woman chops vegetables with care, not haste. In her movement, there is reverence. She does not cook to impress, she cooks to nourish. And in this simple act, she teaches what no lecture could. That presence is the greatest ingredient of all. We spend so much time asking, what should I do with my life? But the better question is, what spirit will I bring to what I do? The answer to a meaningful life is not hidden in the distance. It is already in your hands, in how you wake, in how you walk, in how you return, moment after moment, to your values. You can abandon the chase. You can walk another way, the way of clarity, the way of compassion, the way of right intention. Not every road leads to peace, even if it's paved with success, but the path of intention leads you back to yourself every time. And the self you return to, that is not a version you have to build. That is a being you must remember. You were never created to be perfect. You were created to be whole. And wholeness has room for softness. It has space for mistakes. It welcomes the days when all you can do is breathe. There is no gold star for burnout, no trophy for self-betrayal, no badge of honor for ignoring your body's plea for rest. Right intention asks you to pause, to notice, to realign, to say no, not from fear but from freedom, to say yes, not from pressure but from truth. When you are rooted in intention, even a single step is enough, because it's not the size of your movement, it's the soul behind it. You don't need a grand awakening, you need a gentle remembering, a return to the child you once were, who danced without needing to be watched, to the quiet part of you who knows how to listen without judgment, to the deeper wisdom that knows peace is not something to wait for, but to live now. What is done with right intention cannot be wasted. Even your failures teach, even your pauses speak, even your pain points the way. When you plant seeds in alignment, the harvest takes care of itself. So breathe again, not to calm your anxiety, but to hear what it's been trying to tell you. Breathe to come back, to hear, to now, to what matters. There is nothing wrong with striving, but ask yourself, what are you striving for and why? Is it love or is it approval? Is it expression or is it escape? Let your doing flow from your being, not the other way around, and you will find peace is not at the end of the finish line. It is at the beginning, waiting to walk with you. Let it. You do not need to be perfect, to be powerful. You only need to be present, to listen, to align. Let the winds of your choices carry the fragrance of your intention. Let each step, no matter how small, sing of peace. Let your life become your practice, not a stage, but a sanctuary. And if you forget, that's okay. Just return again and again and again. This is the path. This is the power of right intention. Somewhere along the way, we confused excellence with exhaustion. We believed the lie that only what hurts has value, that only what drains us proves we're doing something important. But importance is not measured by how depleted you feel. It is measured by how aligned you are with truth, with care, with your deepest values. And truth does not shout. It does not demand that you sacrifice your soul at the altar of achievement. It waits, patiently, quietly, for you to return. Right intention asks not, what will they think of me? But rather, what will I think of myself if I act against what I know is right? When you live for applause, you become a performer. When you live from intention, you become a presence. And presence, more than performance, changes the world. Consider the monk who sweeps the temple floor each morning. No one watches, no one claps, yet he does it every day, in silence, with reverence, because the act is not separate from the sacred, because the floor is not dirty, it is holy ground. Your life, too, is sacred ground. Each choice is a prayer, each movement is a message, each word is a seed, and what you sow with intention will grow not always in the way you imagined, but always in the way you needed. Perfection wants control. It wants to script the outcome, but intention lets go of outcome and roots itself in integrity. This is why intention feels so unfamiliar to many. It asks you to trust that alignment is enough, to trust that peace is not passive, but powerful, to trust that you are not behind you, are being refined. Slow growth is not failure. It is devotion. It is depth, like bamboo, which grows roots for years before it ever breaks the surface. You, too, are growing in ways the world may not see, but the tree does not rush its bloom, the mountain does not apologize for its stillness, and the ocean does not compete to be louder than the storm. It waits, it knows, it is. This is what right intention teaches. That being is enough. You do not need to chase peace. You only need to stop chasing what took you away from it. And that might mean letting go of stories you were taught, stories that said, you must earn love, you must prove worth, you must never rest. But rest is not laziness, it is medicine, and peace is not the absence of conflict. It is the presence of clarity. It is the refusal to abandon yourself for the comfort of others. Right intention does not please everyone. It does not bend to fit in. It does not mold itself to expectations. It walks as it is, soft but unwavering, gentle but grounded, like a lantern in the dark. It does not force others to see. It simply offers light. There will be times when you forget, times when the noise outside grows louder than the voice within, times when fear disguises itself as ambition. Let those moments be your practice. Return, not with judgment, but with grace, not with shame, but with awareness. Even the detours are part of the path when you walk with intention. Even the confusion holds clues. Even the broken pieces reflect light. Perfection says, don't fall. Intention says, fall and rise with wisdom. There is no need to hide your humanity. It is not a flaw in your design. It is the very place where compassion takes root. So, allow yourself the full experience of being here, not as an idea, but as a living, breathing truth. Allow joy to soften you. Allow sorrow to teach you. Allow stillness to guide you. You don't have to know what comes next. You only have to be true in this moment. Right intention lives here, not in some distant future, but in your next breath. It is not about perfect plans, but honest presence. It asks, can you speak kindly, even when you're tired? Can you choose integrity, even when no one's watching? Can you return to yourself, even when the world pulls you away? And when you do, when you live from that quiet center, you become the peace you are seeking, not because everything is calm, but because you are, not because you've arrived, but because you've awakened, awakened to the truth that what you do matters less than how you do it, that the sacred is found in the ordinary, that being deeply alive is more valuable than being endlessly admired. And when you forget, as we all do, breathe, bow, begin again. This is the way. This is the power. This is peace. There is a moment just before dawn when the world holds its breath. The sky still wears the memory of night. The wind hushes. The earth is not yet busy. In that moment, everything is poised not to rush forward, but to remember. And in that stillness, something sacred stirs. This is where intention lives, not in the doing, but in the being before the doing, not in the noise, but in the breath before the noise. Right intention is not a spark that burns bright and fades. It is a slow ember, steady and quiet, but capable of warming a life. And a life lived with intention does not need to shine the brightest. It needs only to shine honestly. When you move from this place, not from fear, not from lack, not from proving, but from peace, you will find a different rhythm, a rhythm not based on urgency, but on clarity, not on performance, but on presence, not on chasing perfection, but on choosing alignment. And from this rhythm comes ease, not the kind of ease that avoids effort, but the kind that refuses to fight your own nature. It is the ease of knowing you are enough, even when you're becoming, like the river that does not question its path, yet carves valleys, like the sun that does not ask to be noticed, yet nourishes the whole world, like the breath that does not shout, yet keeps you alive. Right intention is that breath. It does not control, it centers, it does not demand, it invites, it does not push, it pulls gently toward what is true. You will be told that more is better, that faster is smarter, that constant movement is the way forward. But here's a deeper truth. Stillness is not stagnation. Gentleness is not weakness. And peace is not a prize you earn at the end. It is the place you begin when you choose presence over performance. Now, as you listen, now, as you breathe, now, as you prepare to move back into your life. Nothing needs to be perfect. No moment needs to be extraordinary, only intentional. That is enough. Pour the tea slowly. Fold the clothes with care. Listen to someone without thinking of your reply. Offer a kind word without needing to be thanked. Walk, not to get somewhere, but to feel the ground beneath your feet. This is your practice. This is your life. And when it is lived with right intention, every moment becomes sacred. Every choice becomes an offering. Every day becomes a quiet revolution, not in the world's eyes, but in your own heart. You do not need to chase peace. You only need to stop running from it. It has always been here, waiting, patient, present, like the mountain, like the moon, like the truth. And you were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be awake, to be real, to be whole. So, when the pressure rises again, when the noise returns, when the path feels lost, and the world feels heavy, remember this. You can return to the breath, to the body, to the intention behind it all. Return to what matters. Return to yourself. Return to peace. And walk forward, not for applause, not for validation, but because it is the path your soul already knows. Walk gently, walk slowly, walk with your eyes open and your heart clear. The world does not need your perfection. It needs your presence. And presence begins with right intention